Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Backlog Gamers podcast, the podcast where we cover current news and give you our opinions, even though you may not want them. I am Halo Titan, and with me is Zach Avalanche. How you doing tonight, sir?
Dude, I'm doing great. My oldest son turned 13
Oh,
this
you're
week.
you're getting old.
I'm I'm a dad of a teenager officially. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. My daughter turns 13 in December, so
Isn't that wild? Oh man, it's hard to
I
believe, man.
I'm not looking. You know what? We're gonna have to compare notes. You're gonna have a teenage boy. I'm gonna have a teenage
You're
girl.
right.
It's going to be interesting to see the differences. You can help prepare me for when my son turns 13, and I
That's
can help
right,
prepare you for
exactly.
when your daughter turns 13.
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
man. What a mess. Although he was very excited to get a Nintendo Switch Lite for his birthday.
Oh, I
Come
bet
on
he
now.
was.
Oh man, yeah, he was super stoked. I was pretty stoked too. I'm not gonna lie. I was setting it all up earlier today, and I was like, "All right, let's see. I got to make sure his account's all in there." And I was downloading games for him and
And then you
stuff.
spent an hour playing them before you gave it to him.
Yeah. Oh, Daddy really likes this Switch Lite. You might get my Switch.
No more for you, all for me. That's great, man. So for those of you who don't know, I mean, this is our first episode ever,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty excited about. We've been practicing this for 2 months, I think, and then
Yeah.
I'm just excited to finally be live. For most people, you're going to be new to the channel. Some of us, you might recognize us from Twitch or Twitter, and we're going to be discussing current news topics and just giving our opinions. We're not journalists, but we're going to be reacting to the news, and we are called the Backlog Gamers. We might touch on some backlog games as well. Just kind of depends on where the evening takes us. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, and let's hop into it. We had a pretty exciting week this week.
We sure did.
I was wondering where you went there. It was interesting because we started getting leaks like really late at night about the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series Slim leaking. The release date leaking and prices leaking, as well as like their all access thing that they've been doing for Xbox One and back in the Xbox 360 days. I mean, incredible news. We've been waiting for a price reveal from one of these major consoles for months now, and Microsoft, even though it leaked, they came out and confirmed it. It's all true. So
Yeah.
how do you feel about that? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because that's probably the big news story of the week. Everybody's
So
talking about it.
so we've been waiting. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X have been having a price showdown, right? They've been playing price chicken for a very, very long time. We are like a month and change out, okay, from the launch of the Xbox Series X.
Which is
And here we
November
are.
10th.
Yeah, right. And here we are going, hello, how much is it going to be? When can we start
Right.
pre-ordering?
Well, people
Hello.
were speculating that both these consoles are going to release in November because some
Right.
games that are coming out for them are releasing in November. So
Plus, we're talking holiday season, just like every other
right,
launch. Um, I mean, these guys are big corporations. They know how to roll things out, okay? However, if we remember in the last generation of consoles, what happened when uh, Microsoft released their price for the Xbox One?
yeah, Sony undercut them,
They undercut them.
and rightfully so because Microsoft. That's Microsoft. I got to say that their rollout of the next generation of Xbox has been a lot smoother than the Xbox
Oh,
One.
sure. Absolutely. Not just that, but you think about this leak, okay? This leak, which was confirmed very quickly after the fact. Let's be real. It was very quick, very the next day basically, right?
I I think it took 2 days for them to confirm the X. I think, and people were speculating that they were waiting for Sony to come out and
Yeah.
undercut them, and then be like, "Whoa, we didn't confirm the Xbox Series X at this price. We confirmed it at a lower price than Sony."
Right. And what happened there? Because wasn't Sony supposed to have some sort of event to reveal things?
Yeah, and well, so that I read that on Twitter, one of the major publication sites for games. I want to say IGN. I can't confirm because I did
Yeah.
not save the tweet, but they were saying that after the leaks for Xbox came out, Sony was supposedly going to be doing a reveal for their
Yeah.
stuff on September 9th.
So now you look at
And then
so now you
September
look
9th rolled around and we never got anything
at
from
right.
PlayStation. So
So
they must be reconfiguring things or
yeah,
trying.
the
I
big
mean,
wigs are getting all their graphics remade with all the right prices, getting all
right.
their videos re-edited with all the right prices. They're
They
doing a
they might be back at the drawing board. I mean, how do they compete with the Series Slim?
how do
I
you
so
the Series Slim is
if you don't know yet, the Series Slim
yeah,
it was announced for 299.
for 299.
299.
The
That's
Xbox Series S is coming out for 299.
right. Although
299.
there is a difference between that and the Series X though.
Sure. Oh, okay. I mean, there are certainly differences in the hardware, and we all recognize that. And they Microsoft put out some great graphics
Oh yeah.
to tell us exactly what the difference is between the Series X and the Series S. But the Series S is still a powerful next gen console at a price point of 299.
299.
299.
It's they're saying I was reading rumors and of course these major publications do these these clickbait tweets and articles
Of course.
but they were saying that the Series Slim might be better than like it might be more powerful than the PlayStation 5 itself.
I was reading something about that the other day myself, actually. It's
Yeah,
mind-boggling.
mind-boggling. You're telling me the weaker version of the next series of Xbox is still going to be more powerful than the most powerful version of PlayStation? Because I do believe PlayStation is going to have a discless console as well. But I don't think
Right.
they were planning to sell that thing for 299. I'm betting that they were going to release the PS5 for 500 and that they were going to release the series their digital series for
Right.
399
For $100 less.
or
Right.
$100 less was my
I
guess.
You know what? I don't disagree. I think that was probably exactly their plan. And then Xbox just like
It
undercut this, jerks,
dude, and
basically.
it's almost dirty that they did that because Microsoft can afford to sell these at a loss.
Oh, sure. You think about just the subscription services that they're providing at this point are some of the best deals in gaming, period.
Oh,
And
hands down.
I and what Microsoft is selling at this point is an ecosystem. They want you to be in the Xbox ecosystem
Absolutely.
where they will provide you with services that you pay for on a monthly basis because
Yep.
the subscription is money every month
Every
rather
month.
than a one-time deal,
Right.
right?
Or
So they
of course they
recognize,
sell them in 3 month and 12-month
sure, sure,
packages. But I
sure,
mean,
but they recognize that the console is a one-time sale versus a subscription service that's
continued
all the
money
time.
coming in. And
Crazy.
that's wild to think about it. It's crazy to think that they might not care if they sell a whole lot of consoles,
They might
which
not.
they will. I do think what the Xbox One did not sell nearly as much. I mean, I don't know. We don't know the numbers. They don't release the numbers of their sales, so
Yeah,
we don't know exactly. They have over 100 million Xbox Live users, so
right,
a safe bet is they're probably at 100 million consoles sold.
right.
But even then, even if they sold everything at full price, and they never had sales for this stuff, they these consoles lose money regardless. Even for Sony, they're going to lose money on
Oh,
these
these ones
consoles.
have to. They
And
have to.
Microsoft, I mean, every console that's ever come out, it's a loss of money. These companies make their money on the software, which Sony has a stellar exclusive lineup. I don't care who
Sure.
you are, you can't argue with that.
No,
And
you can't
and
argue with
you see the
y
haters online for Xbox,
yeah.
and they're like, what games do they have? And it's just like, you know what, you're gonna have a full list of anything you have backwards compatible
Right. Right.
at your fingertips right
Right.
away
And
from
this is
day
that
one.
This is that Xbox
Right.
ecosystem that we're talking about. There's like, I mean, think about the catalog going all the way back to the
Hundreds,
original
if not
Xbox.
thousands, of games
I mean,
available.
this it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And
It's
as Game
huge.
Pass continues to grow, what happens? They continue to have more money, and what happens? They continue to bring in more and more and more games.
And
Think
high
about,
caliber games too.
oh, uh,
Coveted games.
games that
If
people want.
Right. And so, but they also have third party games launching with their console. I have not really seen any Microsoft exclusive titles,
Microsoft
any first party
exclusive titles.
titles.
None jump out to my
Right. I
knowledge at
think
this point.
Halo was supposed to be it, but
Right. So
that's not coming
because
anymore.
Halo's not coming out right away
Right.
with the Xbox Series X, okay. Um, well, did that change their strategy? Were they going to offer the Series S for $399 before, but then they realized, oh,
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
I don't think so. I think this is their plan all along.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a tough decision, but they didn't want another fiasco with Halo that they got with the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
So they thought, with Halo Infinite's going to be a game for service, or one of those long-standing games that you don't need to buy a new Halo. You might buy expansions
Oh, sure.
down the road or whatever, or
Yeah.
maybe they put microtransactions in to keep
Basically,
you paying.
Destiny 2 or Destiny Infinite,
Right?
right?
Yeah, games as a service
Right.
for Halo. So that's you're looking at that and you're like, okay. So I mean, I think it's good that they postponed that, but I don't think that impacted their strategy one bit, because I think they
Yeah.
know that Game Pass is their killer app.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And with this announcement, with all the COVID going on and people not working, and people are financially unable to maybe purchase everything, they have the all access pass, which for the
Right.
Series X being a $500 console, you can rent that for 24 months at $35 a month, or you can get the Series Slim, which is $300 at $25 a month for 24 months. And you're saying, hey, wait a second, for 24 months, I'll be paying more than what the console costs. Yeah, but you're also getting Xbox Live Gold
Right.
and Game Pass for those
Right.
24 months. You don't have to worry about video games for 2 years. I mean, that's
You're
killer.
basically getting Ultimate, with that. And
I mean,
now,
that's such a fan service. That's reaching out. That's so consumer friendly.
oh,
I
yeah.
think
It's so
hands down,
approachable.
you got your parents that don't know the difference between Xbox and PlayStation, and they want to buy Call of Duty for their kids, and they
Right.
see this console. They only have to pay $35 a month for the next 2 years, and their kid
Done.
can have hundreds and hundreds of games
Right.
at their fingertip. I think that's a smart move.
A huge marketing strategy.
Huge, yeah.
A win, if you ask me.
Right.
Huge win.
Of course,
So
we still don't know what
approachable.
Sony's plans are, though.
It's so approachable though. Come on, do you think let's be real. I really believe at this point in the game, the Sony bigwigs are running around right now trying to fix things and get it ready, because I really truly believe they were kind of like, oh crap.
It's
This
possible. It's
this is
possible they
big.
could lose those people on the fence. Those people on
Right.
the fence, which there are many, just like there
There are
is every
many,
console
yeah.
generation. Which one do I want to buy? Do I want to spend $500 on a console just so I could play one game, Ratchet and Clank, or two games, Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man?
And Spider-Man, right?
Or do I
both,
want
both by Insomniac
both by
games, by the
both?
way.
Yes, which is a fantastic studio.
Like totally propping up the PS5 on its
Oh,
own right now.
yeah, on its own two legs, man. Yeah, they're Insomniac's great.
Get on my back here,
But you're looking
PS5.
at that's super hard to beat. That's super hard to compete with unless they revamp their PS Now to be
Right.
more like Game Pass, because that's honestly the only way I could see them competing. But they do have,
But do
in my
they
opinion, in my opinion, they do have the exclusives.
sure.
You know,
Do
they're-
they have the infrastructure though to immediately on this next gen go to a Game Pass style subscription
I want to
service?
say no, because I would imagine that the Game Pass style system was probably lost money in its first year.
Yeah, where
'Cause
don't you
they're-
think?
they're-
And
they're-
it was a slow rollout. Do you remember
Really,
that?
it really was.
I mean, can
And-
PlayStation
and just
really
imagine
roll
how
something out
many-
like that?
They
At
they
this
had
point?
they had to get people into it. They gave away. We went to PAX. We got free 6-month, 12-month codes for
Oh
Game
yeah,
Pass.
man. Yeah, we were loaded up for like 3
And then they
years.
had that whole promotion system where all you had to do was upgrade for $1. And if you already
Right.
had a year of Xbox Live and a year of Game Pass already,
Yep.
and then you could upgrade to Ultimate for $1.
Mm-hmm.
They gave you those 2 years plus an additional what 3 months I think for the
Oh,
one
dude.
dollar.
Yeah,
So you people are going to be using their Game Pass for the next 2 years, 3 years.
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. And they're going to get used to it. And you know
it was
what? When
wild.
it comes time to pay for it again, they're going to do it.
They will because
Absolutely,
there's
100%.
a lot of I mean Game Pass itself is it's such a huge entity, and I can only see it growing. But with it growing, you're going to start seeing competition coming out. And
Yep.
Sony has Sony needs to start releasing their first party games on PC.
Right.
Is that PC market huge, and they need to start a Game Pass type service. People will say, "Oh, they have PlayStation Now." That's a streaming service. You can download your games
Yeah.
through Game Pass. The streaming service, I don't think is as strong. I don't think I mean, it might be better than when I last tried it. As technology gets better, but I just don't think
Yeah.
it's as good. And you know what? By the time anyone else gets in that market, it's going to be Microsoft kind of owns that market right now
Right.
of renting video games essentially.
Now, look. I mean, they're the Netflix of video games to this point, right?
Right.
They're the ones on the front end, right? Now, that's not to say that other massive companies, are gonna come in and want a piece of the pie. They are. They're gonna. It's gonna happen. Look, reality is, you look at something like, look at Stadia, for example. Okay, they're doing the same thing. But they're trying to launch right into it, right? This is
Right.
Google has a massive company, tons of capital to do something like this. So they're boom, jumping right in.
They could. I don't
So
think they're going to last long though. I don't think Stadia's got a long
yeah.
lifespan in it.
Well, look at if we're going on the analogy, think about like Netflix, right? Netflix was ahead of the game. And then you kind of got Hulu. So maybe Google Stadia's Hulu trying to jump in, right?
Right.
Now we've got all these other streaming services, Disney
Prime,
Plus, you got
CBS All
Prime,
Access.
CBS All Access, you got all these things.
Yeah.
Other companies are going to want a piece of the pie. And who's to say some of those network companies don't jump in and get some of that pie?
Yeah, I can't. But you know what? People are going to grow tired of having to have 18 different subscription services.
Oh, absolutely.
So inevitably, you're going to see companies maybe merge together. Like, we did get
Companies are
also
gonna
an
get
announcement
bought out.
with Game Pass coming later this year, coming holiday season. They said EA. It used to be EA Access. Now it's known as EA Play, which
Right.
they were the first subscription service really, on consoles. And
Yeah.
and that's back when PlayStation didn't even let them on their console because they already had PlayStation Now. But EA Play came out, letting people subscribe for $35 a year, I think,
Yeah.
to their library of games, which is up to over 65 games now. While EA Play is teaming up with Game Pass, so people, if you have Game Pass now coming later this holiday season, and even if you get Game Pass, anywhere between now and
Oh
when it
man.
comes out, you will also have EA Play. They teamed up
And
together,
this
and guess what? At no additional cost.
this is a massive move, man. This is a
Huge,
massive move. It's
huge.
insanely big. This is an insanely big move. What does this do? Because who knows where, and look, I hate the console war situation. Look, I just like video games. I like to play them. If you got good games, I want to play it. I've got a PlayStation 4. I've got an Xbox One. I've got a Nintendo Switch. I got a PC. I got an Oculus Rift, man. Like no, I got an Oculus Quest.
Quest.
But the point is, if you got good games, I want to play them. But this right here is a huge move. Is this a line in the sand? Is the EA Play
bargain. It's a
is
bargain.
EA Play jumping on with Xbox Game Pass? Is this a line in the sand for all the other people who are going to try and jump in on this? Stadia, PlayStation,
Maybe.
other companies.
So, I mean, it's not like EA games are going exclusive to Xbox, but
Sure.
you'll be able to play them with the Game Pass subscription. You don't have to pay an additional cost for these EA games. And people might downplay and be like, oh, it's a bunch of sports games and racing. We don't want, it's like, you know what? It
Which I
doesn't matter
love.
because you know what? If $15 a month gets you access to, I mean, I guarantee 65 games, which will not come off in the past. Like, a lot of games, like Red Dead Redemption was just recently taken off of, Red Dead Redemption 2 is recently taken off Game Pass.
Yeah,
They
the
have these
contract ran
timed
out.
contracts, games come and
Yeah.
games go, just like on Netflix. EA, as long as, I don't know how long this partnership lasts. I would assume at least a year, maybe 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was no information about that. It could be forever for all we know. that Microsoft is doling out some of their profits to EA for this thing. But I mean, we don't know how long it's going to last. But for the foreseeable future, those 65 EA Access games or 65 plus.
Yeah, man.
You're guaranteed to have them.
And think about some of the game developers, the competitors. Okay, think about some of the game developers. For example, you said sports games. For example, I love playing the NBA games, and I actually kind of flip flop. I'll go NBA Live one year,
Yeah.
or I'll go NBA 2K
Yeah.
one year. What is my determining factor? Usually it's price, and usually NBA Live is cheaper, but maybe sometimes NBA 2K is on sale. Here's the thing, though. You got NBA Live in Game Pass for free for me now. I'm going to choose NBA Live every time.
Yeah.
And so what is that going to do to 2K, a company whose NBA 2K20 just came off of Game
they'd
Pass?
be forced to make a better game, honestly.
Yeah, they're going to be forced to make a better game, or
Join them.
let's say,
if you can't beat them, join them.
Join them. They're going to jump back onto Game Pass.
Yep.
They're going to be
I think
we want NBA 2K21.
I think 2K20 is on there now.
I think it just came off, or it was coming off.
I thought
it's coming off, or it just came off. But the point is they're going to jump back on it. Because if NBA Live is on there, I'm going to just play NBA Live.
And this is such a genius move by Microsoft. The Game Pass is such a bargain that more people are going to buy into it. You know what? When you sell Halo by itself on one console, not everybody's going to buy Halo. But you put a little bit of something that everybody likes on this platform, more people are going to buy it.
Yeah, think about Madden and other things like that.
I only see them growing with this. I really do. Dude, I only see them growing with
this
it.
This is a huge move.
Yep.
This is
it's
massive
affordable.
Move.
You look at those price tags. Like I'm not going to get the next generation Xbox. I don't have $500 just sitting around. I'm not rich. I mean, and maybe some people can't afford it. I'm sure a lot of people can't afford it. But during this whole COVID thing and stuff, I mean, this is a bargain. This is given their console. I mean, they're giving everybody the potential to pick up on this. It's huge.
Again, it's approachable because the price tag isn't crazy.
Yep.
Because you can pay $35 a month.
Right.
Come on. Are you joking me?
Or 25, depending on which version you want.
People pay more than that for their phones.
True. And this subscription, this all access thing that they're doing is just like getting a cell phone.
Exactly.
It's exactly
like that.
You pay an extra $25, $35 on your phone bill because you're paying off your phone.
And are you
don't pay attention to it. Your phone bill's
so approachable, but then it's amazing. It's an amazing deal afterwards because you get all that stuff included with the new console. My kids might get an Xbox.
I think we think our friend Rico, he's my uncle. Yeah. Rico ran the numbers on this. I think with the Series X, with EA Play, with Game Pass, Xbox Live, and I don't know if they're counting Game Pass and Xbox Live separately or if they're just counting Ultimate, but you're saving at least $40. Yeah, so think about they are losing $40,
dude,
over the 2 years from your all access.
Oh man, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Not just that, but you can go into Walmart, or you can go into Best Buy, or you can go into there's a couple other stores that they listed that you can literally go in and get this plan right in a local store for you. Right in a local store for you. You don't have to try and find it online. You can do it like in a local store, just like right where you live. It's so easy. They are making the gateway for this next generation so easy.
Yep,
It's crazy.
it's gonna be great. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm not a huge fan of the Xbox Slim design myself, and I love seeing the
The
memes.
boombox.
Yeah, the boombox, the subwoofer, seeing those memes of John Cusack holding the Slim over his head. I mean, those are just, I mean, so stinking great. Not the best design. I don't think Microsoft's ever been great with their design. I mean, they make a console that works, which is fine
Yeah,
for me. I've
like,
always loved their interface though, but
oh
you know
man.
their designs are
Yeah.
kind of. It's like,
Admittedly, I find that their interface is just so,
oh, it's
it's
great.
so good. It's
Right.
so good. I mean, think about it though. Microsoft, it's been a software company for a long, long time.
They know what they're doing. They really do.
Yeah,
You know, and it's super interesting for you know, we got to watch the reveal of the Slim. They went through
right.
all its inner workings and stuff, but they showed off something that I was actually, I mean, hyping up myself when I was talking to you. This was, oh gosh, months and months and months ago. I was talking
Hmm.
to you and Rico about this. Switching games
Oh
and picking
yes,
up
right,
right where you left off. And you guys are like,
right.
well, why would you want to do? Who would need to do that? Blah blah blah. You guys are like, how's that gonna work? You know, I know Rico was a big. He was
Yeah,
really big
I'm over
on
here like
kind of
I can
trashing
only
that.
play one game at a time.
Yeah, you
Like,
can only play one at a time. I find that I'll be playing a single player game by myself, but then like you or someone gets on and they want to play something else.
right.
But you know, and then you guys hop off before I go to bed. I could just as easily switch right back over to what I was
Yeah,
doing, and
yeah.
in a matter of seconds,
The
and
ease of access.
pick up exactly where I left off. Now
Yeah,
we saw what they showed us for that. I
yeah.
want to see it work in real time.
In real
I
time.
want to get
Yeah,
my hands on an Xbox, and I want to
and
load up
actually test it.
however many games it'll let me. They don't have the number of games because it depends on how big the games are and stuff.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Which I think is why they were showing, you know, like old like Black I think was on there from the original Xbox, and
Yeah,
then
like old
Skate from the
games. Yeah.
360, and
Right.
you know they
And
had
so
one game from
it's,
every
you know,
generation, but
they wanted to make it look really quick, of course. But you know,
right. So I want
look,
to see how it works because they had that where on the Xbox One your game would keep running even if you switch to an app. Now, obviously, if you loaded up another
right.
game, it shut that game down.
It shut that game down. Right.
But if I
Now,
switch to Netflix, I'm playing something and it's dinner time, so we switch over to Netflix to watch some TV or whatever,
yeah.
and then I go back. Most of the time, my game would have to reload, and all I did
And
was go to Netflix.
sure. Now, obviously, this has to do with, you know, the amount of power that you're getting, obviously, in these machines.
Right,
The power is just insanely better. It's crazy. It's crazy what one generation to another can do.
right.
Um, and you know what? We may have given you a hard time about this feature back then, but I got to tell you, literally just today, just talking about it again now, literally just today, I was thinking, man, while I was messing around with the Switch, I was thinking, man, I wish I could just like load this back up, like like it was. I could go from Breath of the Wild, where I'm in the middle of a temple, or I'm in the middle of a shrine working on a puzzle. I wish I could just go, oh, my buddy's like, hey, let's play Spell Break. I could swap over to Spell Break real quick, and I just jump into the game. And then, oh, okay, see you later, man. Okay, jump right back into where I was. I mean,
Yeah,
I get
I'm
it.
telling you,
Like,
there's
I feel it.
I
I
don't think
feel it.
everybody's going to use it, but I
Yeah.
think I mean just think about if you want almost a side by side comparison of like say you load up Halo 1
Yeah.
and then you load up Halo 2 and you want to see the differences between the maps of Blood Gulch and Coagulation, which
Yeah, and
was
just
the
swapping back and forth.
yeah, and you can swap back and forth between these games, go to the exact areas, just look at the map firsthand. I mean, of course people put up videos side by side to show you the difference.
Sure.
But then you're just watching a video. I think it'd be cool that I could go in there and I can do that. You know, I
Walk
think
around and find the stuff and look
right.
at it, and yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and with being able to do possibly 3 games or 4 games, who knows? Especially if they're old games,
yeah.
you might be able to load up every iteration of a certain map in Halo
Sure, right.
and compare. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. That's
Oh
it's
man,
a cool
yeah.
idea. Again, I mean, I think it would be at first I was like, maybe not, but then again, literally just today, Breath of the Wild and Spellbreak, and I was like, oh man, if I switch,
Yep.
then I gotta load it up, and
Yep. You got to
so
save your game. Of
it's
course,
I
I'm going to be
mean,
paranoid. I'm going to save my
cool
games
feature.
regardless.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna save everything, especially for a game like
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. Like, wait, how many shrines ago did I save?
Right. Yeah.
I
Especially
need to
games
make
like
sure.
that where
How
if that
many
thing shuts
miles
down and you didn't
have I
save,
ridden on my horse, Glenn?
you could lose a lot.
Oh,
Man,
and,
so that was the big news topic this week.
oh,
But
the huge
I know
one. Yeah.
you were excited about they announced Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. That
Yes,
was announced.
right,
And they were saying that it takes place 100 years before the Breath of the Wild, and it's coming
right.
in a couple months in November. And
Yeah,
I know
that's
I've never gotten into Hyrule Warriors, but
yeah.
you I think you have, and you might know more
Yeah, so
about this
this
than
is
me.
actually really exciting for a lot of fans. Actually, Hyrule Warriors was a game that came out a few years back on the Wii U, and it was actually really kind of cool. Is it's very different. You're basically fighting hordes, just hordes of dudes all the time.
That's what it
You're
looked like. It looked
fighting
like
all
these
these things.
massive the trailer for it looked like they were just these massive battles
Right,
taking
right.
place.
And so the cool thing about this one is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity is that if you've played Breath of the Wild, which I'm doing now, um, and I'm actually really enjoying it. The storyline, this is a direct correlation to the storyline in Breath of the Wild, right? So I mean, you're a hero that's woken up after 100 years, where you were preserved, right? And so I don't think I can really give away many spoilers for a lot of people at this point. If you haven't played it, that's your own
I
fault,
haven't
right?
gone through the
Right.
entirety of Breath of the Wild, but
If
I
it's
think
not,
you're safe.
if at this point you haven't played it, that's your own fault, right? How many years
Just in case,
is the
spoiler
spoiler
warning
alert?
for Breath of the Wild.
How long does the spoiler alert expire? I don't
Well, I
know.
don't know if there's an actual day, but it's always good to at least give a
Uh,
spoiler warning for
sure, sure.
those who want to avoid.
I'm not gonna give too much away. Obviously, I'm actually playing it right now. It's been on my backlog for a while, so I'm actually in the middle of it. So I can't really spoil any endings or anything like that. But I could give you kind of the premise, and basically what happened was Calamity Ganon came in, started destroying everything, and four heroes had to come together and fight against him. Something happened where the heroes were defeated, and but Calamity Ganon was sealed away. So in Breath of the Wild, and this was huge. Like Ganon's army was everywhere, and they had all these robots that were fighting, and it was crazy, right? There were all sorts of battles and stuff. In Breath of the Wild, this is 100 years later. You're the hero. You're Link. You're waking up after 100 years, and that's where the story begins. But and you get a little bit of the backstory of the Age of Calamity, of what happened back then, but it doesn't give you everything. And so what this game is supposed to do is it's supposed to give you the opportunity to fight through a bunch of the battle, like these massive scale battles, as the different heroes from back in that 100 years ago in the Age of Calamity.
Is it a cooperative? Is it going to be a cooperative game?
This I don't know. I know you. Here's what I know for sure. Obviously, with Hyrule Warriors, you're running through, you're fighting, you're looking for stuff to upgrade things. You got monsters and enemies coming at you like crazy, and you're just cutting them down, right? That's kind of the basic gist of the game.
Right.
And so what this one will do is it'll allow you to play those battles. Now, I don't know if it's a co-op game.
That'd be neat.
I haven't seen anything on that yet. If you guys do know, let us know in the comments. educate us. We love being educated. So
Yeah,
if you guys have heard something on that, let us know. Send us a link. That would be great.
absolutely. And you can do that for any topic that we discuss
Oh,
here
absolutely.
on the podcast. And
Yeah.
if I don't think there's a comment section for Spotify, but you can always find us on our Twitters or
Oh,
our official
absolutely. Yeah.
Backlog Gamers Twitter and let us know.
Yeah. At Backlog Gamers.
Actually, I
Yeah.
think it's at Gamers Backlog.
You know, I was just thinking that.
Because we're not the only
Anyway,
Backlog Gamers out there, but I think we're the only ones with the title Backlog Gamers.
yeah, exactly.
But someone else
So,
has a Backlog Gamers Twitter handle.
right. So look us up at Gamers Backlog, I think. But we're the Backlog Gamers. So come and
Well,
find us.
that
You'll
looks
see
interesting.
this
I'm
little
curious
yellow
to
logo.
see. I'm curious to see if there are any, if any of the other Hyrule Warriors games were cooperative.
Yeah, I'd have to go
Because
back and
they
look.
seem to be larger in scale as far as like their battles and stuff go, as
Yeah,
in
yeah.
comparison to a Zelda game.
Yeah, so the hard part for I can't say for sure because I actually never played it co-op. I only played it solo. So I can't say for sure if it was ever co-op or not. So let us know. Let us know in the comments if you guys
That
know.
would be
That'd be great.
interesting information to have.
Yeah, yeah.
So the other, that was a big announcement for Zelda
Yeah,
fans.
huge
Or I
announcement.
guess I shouldn't say just Zelda fans, but for Hyrule Warrior fans, because that is its own
Yeah, the
franchise.
Warriors series. Yeah.
But we also had what I'm going to go ahead and call uneventful, not necessarily completely uneventful, but I wasn't too, in shock or awe. But we had the Ubisoft,
You boring soft. I mean,
boring soft. What was it called? The Ubisoft Forward.
oh
Ubisoft
man.
Forward event is what it
Ubisoft
was.
Forward is what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had that. They showed a lot.
You be boring.
If you've ever watched a Ubisoft conference or anything, you kind of know how they are. I miss them when they used to have Aisha Taylor being the announcer for those because she was always funny and it's fantastic because she's an actual gamer.
Right.
But they did have some trailers that I mean for some stuff that I found interesting.
Yeah.
And the first one
Yeah.
I saw was Immortals Phoenix Rising. And they said it
Right.
was re-revealed because it used to be called Gods and Monsters, a
Right.
game that you and I
Right.
both looked at. I want to say 2019 E3.
Yeah. Gosh, I
We
want to say we saw it at PAX, didn't we? At one point, it was small. It was like a really small spot, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I
Um,
think I don't know if we saw it at PAX.
Maybe not.
I know we had commented on God's Monsters at the E3. I want to
Yeah.
say it was 2019.
Yeah. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually I missed the beginning part and so I didn't hear that and so I thought, man, this looks really familiar,
Yeah.
but I had never seen it. And then you mentioned actually it used to be Gods and Monsters and I was
Gods
like,
and Monsters, yeah.
there it is.
That's
Now
where I recognized it
I
from.
gotcha. It's clicking now. Okay.
I'm not
I
entirely
see
sure
what it
why they changed the name, but I know that it still dipped
Yeah.
pretty heavily in Greek mythology,
Yeah.
which is something I love. I'm a
Yeah,
big God
right.
of War fan, especially the newest God of War and
Yeah.
Hellblade.
Sure.
It has a lot of Greek mythology, and I really
Uh,
like those games. But you see a lot
anybody like that old game, Rise of the Argonauts? Woot, woot. Come on, come
never
on.
played it.
When some of those guys' faces just kind of like melt off when they're talking to you and stuff. Sorry, that was never mind.
Well,
If there's any Rise of the Argonauts love out there, you throw a comment in there.
just post some Team Zach comments in the
You're right, exactly.
in the comment section there. So yeah, we can expect Immortals Phoenix Rising 3rd of December this year, 2020.
Right, and this is supposed to be a next gen release.
Yes.
Yes, and I will say
I'm not sure if it'll be on Xbox One though, because Xbox, there's still Microsoft's still supporting Xbox One.
Right.
So I'm not sure if we're going to see the current gen version of that. We know
Right.
PlayStation 5 is not supporting current gen. So I mean, I guess it's all up to the developer or what they do.
Yeah, what they want
They
to
release a PlayStation 4 version or not, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll say it looked good. It looked
it looks fun.
It looks fun, right? Yeah. I'll say they did show. So there was an after show as well, where they talked a little bit more about this.
It went a little more in depth with things that they showed off.
Yeah, it went a little more in depth, and I'll say that I did. It looked a little bit more interesting then. They kind of went about how, oh, you can. There's like, if you want to accomplish this one thing, there's like 5 different ways you can do it. You can go and do this. You can open the vents to start the fire up over here, and then you can go over here. There was a whole, you can go and defeat these monsters in here, so you can have control of the room where where the furnace is, this kind of thing. And I'll say that part to me was kind of like, okay. I mean,
it might be one of those games that you just kind of need to try out for yourself and kind of see
right.
where it falls in for you.
Yeah.
Which, we could totally do on the 3rd of December.
Right,
it is an
exactly.
open world game. I do enjoy open world games.
Yeah.
So
I tend to like them a little
down
more
my alley.
linear, which is just because of the way, because of my schedule.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I like games to be a little more linear because I have a hard time spending the 300 hours to go and run around and find the quests. I'm like, okay, just tell me
takes
where
you
the
longer
quest
to
is,
actually play
and I'll
through
go
something.
Right, exactly.
The
Tell me where
Witcher,
the quest is, I'll
The
go
Witcher
play.
3, being an avid gamer that I am, Witcher 3 still took me roughly 6 months to a year.
Yeah, right.
Of course, I did everything in that, but yeah, I'm okay with those kinds of games, but I do understand the want and the need for linear, shorter games.
Yeah, a little more direct,
a little more to the point.
Yeah, directions.
But that's why I do love those open world games, though, because I feel like they give you a lot more opportunity, like having different ways to tackle a certain mission. A lot of replayability in that too.
Yeah. Oh, sure. And there's people who will go back and play it
absolutely
the 5 times so that they can experience every which way. It's like, I mean,
not everyone is like you and me. You and I want to experience every game that we can that looks interesting to us.
Right.
Some people are like, I could get into a Fortnite and just never play anything else. I can get into Phoenix Rising and just play that for the next 6 months without touching anything else.
Or I could get into Call of Duty and never move on.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. Just different styles for different people. But moving on here, they also at the Ubisoft Forward Presser. They announced a game that my uncle's been telling me I need to play for years and years and years. And I know it was a highly popular game when it originally released, but Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake announced. Notice I didn't say remastered or reimagined, literally remake.
Right.
And they made this game from the ground up. They remade this game from the ground up. They redid all the voice acting. They had motion capture. They remade all the worlds. Everything. They remade the game. I think they tried to keep it as true to the original as possible. But
so far that they even got the original voice actor for the main character.
Yeah. There's going to be no upscale for next gen, but will be playable versus with backwards compatible. So I do believe PlayStation 5 and I think PlayStation 5 is going to do all PlayStation 4 games backwards compatible. Nothing older than that. From what I know, I'm not sure if that's ever been confirmed, but with Xbox, there's talking about every single game since Xbox original back in 2001. Those games are all going to be playable on their next gen consoles. So
oh man, and they went through, and they were going through all their licensing contracts and all the way back, because you remember how big of a deal it was when the last gen launched and backwards compatibility was a big issue. This time they're like, nope, we're going to be ready. They went back.
And it's
did
so
tons
funny.
of licensing.
It's so funny with that, and I think it's good that Microsoft did that, because people do want to play their backwards compatible games. I mean, it's not that difficult.
Backlogs from this gen console and last gen console.
I still have 360 games on my.
Right, exactly. Our backlog has games from way back then. We still want to play them.
And it's not like we can't it's not like we can't plug in our old consoles and play
Sure.
them,
Right.
but the convenience of having backwards compatible, it's not a
Oh,
huge feature.
yeah.
It's not a necessity for next gen, but it's one of those things that to me is a fan service.
Yeah, it's icing on the cake,
I
man.
can play all my, so I could box up my other consoles and stick them in storage or sell them or do something.
Yeah, put them
Uh,
on display as a history to gaming,
right. Because
like
I have upstairs on my TV, I've got my original Xbox 360 and an Xbox Slim all hooked up, and down here I've got
right.
my another Xbox One and a PlayStation 4. But it's going to be nice to be
And
able to
upstairs,
just put those all away.
which one do you use?
Oh, I use the Xbox One
Right.
98% of the time.
Right. You almost never turn on the other ones, right?
And the games that aren't backwards compatible from the 360, I just have my 360 plugged into my one, so I'm still playing on my one. I mean, I
Isn't
have
that crazy?
two consoles up and running, but I'm playing the 360 from the Xbox One. I'm just like, this
Right.
is great move. But I mean, Prince of Persia will be available backwards compatible, and I think they
Yeah,
will
that's
have
awesome.
a next gen version, or maybe they're not. Yeah, it's releasing in January, January 21st of 2021. So,
Yeah,
and
and the
it's
price will be
beautiful,
$39.99.
right? And they spent all this time
Dude.
remaking it, and they're selling it for $20 cheaper than you got it originally. So,
Right. That's great, man. I
I
love
think
when
that's a
I love that
steal,
they're not trying to, gouge you for another 60.
right?
They're like, you know what? Hey, look,
It's
really people could go back and play the old one if they wanted to,
if they
and
wanted to, but honestly, I think
for $2 or
for
something,
people like us
like
who've never played it, I
we'd rather experience it
I'd
this way.
rather experience it this way. But
Oh,
people who
absolutely.
have played it are going to buy it again because
Oh,
it was a
absolutely.
great game from what I've been told. And then if
Right.
it was that great of a game, people will want to see it with updated graphics, fully remade sequences,
Yeah.
you know, what's the word? They redid all the voice acting and stuff.
Yeah, right.
But they kept the story true. So I think people are going to really love getting into that. uh, and they also announced another game that's being re-released is Scott Pilgrim versus the World game.
Yes. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
this one's an interesting one for me because I have wanted to play it because I do enjoy beat 'em up games like Battletoads.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those games are fun to play. And I love the Scott Pilgrim movie, and I always thought it'd be fun to play. And when I eventually got around to saying, you know what, I'm gonna go download that, and play it. It was like 4 years after it came out, but they had taken it off. It was a digital only game, and it was only out for 4 years, and it was taken off
Right.
of all digital platforms, presumably because the license expired.
Right.
But now they're bringing it back, and they're returning. I mean, they're returning for all the people who loved it, all the people like me who wanted to play it but never got the chance. By the time I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for that game, it was gone, and I didn't even know it was gone. But it's been boasted as one of the best beat 'em ups
No, it's
ever.
gone.
Dude, I know. I mean, I wasn't too heartbroken. I was like, I guess I'll just move on. I mean, I
I
thought that
guess
was
I'll just
crazy. I
okay.
mean, some games have come down. It's so weird to me to see a game that just is there, but then they take it down and it's not there anymore. And I think, like with Alan Wake, I think Alan Wake was temporarily taken off of
Oh
like
man.
Steam and digital sales because
Oh, terrible
some of the
decision.
music licensing they had
Oh, it
expired.
ran out. Oh, okay.
So
Hmm.
they either went and redid some of those music sequences with different songs, or they reworked out the
Yeah.
contracts and stuff.
So they must have had to retool some of the licenses with Scott Pilgrim.
Right.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm
Okay.
thinking. So hopefully this one I think I'm going to pick up sooner than later because it's coming holiday 2020 for
Yeah.
$15.
Well, it reminds me
I
of
can spare $15.
yeah, the Ninja Turtles arcade game came on the Xbox 360 at one
Mm-hmm.
point on
Yep.
on Xbox Live, and I downloaded it at one point, and then when I went to go re-download it, it was gone, and I was like, "Oh no,
Did you get your money back?
no, no, never did."
Ridiculous.
I know, crazy.
That they could
Come
just
on,
take a
man.
game from you like that. That's what's
So
scary
should have
about
kept it
digital.
downloaded. I
Yeah.
should have kept it
That's what's
downloaded.
scary about digital, but I don't think you see it happen really that often.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I think they're getting smarter and smarter about doing licenses and
Right.
for this digital age, man. I
Right.
mean, companies are doing it for movies, they're doing it for music, they're doing it for games now. I mean, a lot of the lines that were blurry before, they're not so blurry anymore.
Yeah. It's the newest medium of storytelling and probably one of the fastest growing things in the world. I mean, honestly, I mean, more and more
Oh
people
yeah,
every year become gamers, and more people are playing games now than they were when we were kids growing up.
that's right. Oh,
You know,
100% right.
and just imagine, and I think it's going to keep going because we're sharing those passions with our kids, and they're
Yeah, Ready Player One, right?
yeah,
Oh, I mean, wait, what?
it's good. This is a medium that's constantly changing and adapting to new technology, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's gonna keep changing as long as technology keeps changing, and I think we spread this passion to our kids, and they're gonna spread it to their kids. So I think you're gonna have a future where almost everybody's a gamer. You and I are
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be 80-year-old men playing the newest Halo
Hey,
89.
Halo 89 back in my day.
Back in my day,
We only had jetpacks,
and we hated them.
and we hated those stupid jetpacks. We'd always fall off the edge.
Oh man, jetpacks and Halo. Ugh, gross. Um, to end their conference, they did announce a lot of stuff. We're not going to cover everything
Yeah.
that they announced, like their Just Dance 2021. I mean, it's expected. You knew it was coming. I don't play those games, so we just don't cover topics that we don't care about, and Just Dance is one of them.
If you guys care about them, I mean, sorry.
You're welcome to share your comments, and we'll gladly read them. We might not have much to say about it.
Tell us why you care about them
Yeah,
and why we should. Because
tell us why we should care about them, because a dance game. I mean, I like sitting on my butt, playing a game. I don't want to have to get up and just dance.
I made a comic about that one time with the when the Wii was first out
Oh
and everybody had
yeah,
the Wii, man. That was
like this
crazy.
is like I'm supposed to be having fun playing video games. Instead, I'm
Maybe
friggin'
we should get
exercising.
to
What
the
the heck's
gym.
happening here?
Yeah.
Which in my current state is probably not a bad idea. So yeah, please tell me why I should play Just Dance 2021. Maybe I'll look into it.
Oh, man.
So they ended their conference with the announcement of Riders Republic,
Right. Yeah.
which I have to say interests me because I used to like playing those snowboard extreme sports games.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to buy Steep for a long time, but I can never find an edition that comes with everything.
Right.
I don't.
Sure.
I want to
Yeah.
just buy the game in one big bundle, but they have like an Olympics version and then of Steep. So
Well,
this
that's how
is
they get you to buy a whole bunch of them.
right, right. It was kind of like The Sims. I bought The Sims and I enjoyed The Sims 4, but they have like I'm not even kidding. They probably have like 50
Oh
expansions.
man. Oh yeah.
It's insane
Absolutely.
how many expansions they have for that. And I'm just like, why
Yeah.
can't you just sell a version of the game for an affordable price where I can have
Give me
everything?
the ultimate, the
Yeah,
ultimate
the
edition.
mega ultimate edition because there's so stinking many things. And honestly, those expansions are just like different things, like pets. You can
Yeah.
have pets or
The kid,
different jobs. They got a Star Wars one, I think, coming out
right.
for The
Well,
Sims.
in
So,
this game, Riders Republic, it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit different. This it's supposed to be this
yeah,
massive. It's supposed to be an MMO of sorts
right. It's a
with,
big
I
open world.
mean, huge open world, a lot of national parks, which is really exciting because it's one of my favorite things to do is go and visit national
Yeah,
parks, and they're showing screens like Zion and Grand Tetons, and you're like, oh yeah, I've
yeah,
been there.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I've been there, and it's so exciting to see all these national parks that you just love, and
And then
honestly are
you
some
get
of the most
to
extreme natural wonders
right.
in the world, which is so cool.
Well, it is coming with 7 U.S. national parks and landmarks, which
Yes,
are
right.
seamlessly connected.
Right, which you could just go from one to the other, which is really cool.
Right, which is
And
neat.
I mean, I remember I used to love the ATV games,
Uh,
the ATV racing games where,
yeah,
you're running off road, and there was all those games where, there's all those tracks where you're flying up mountains and off of them and stuff. I love that. And it looks like you can do that. You can ski. You can
Yep.
squirrel dive. What is that?
The wingsuiting, I think it's called.
Wingsuiting, like
And they also have rocket wingsuiting in this one, as well as
yeah,
downhill mountain biking.
mountain biking, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in here, and like
Yeah,
it
I don't
looks
think
like
it's
it's
as
gonna
much as they had,
fit.
because they did have skiing and other stuff
Yeah,
in Steep. And this, I believe, is made from the same people who made that game.
yeah.
I used to be a big Amped fan back
Oh,
on the original Xbox, back when I sold my PlayStation 1 to get a
yeah.
Xbox One, or not an Xbox One, I shouldn't say that, because the naming conventions for Microsoft are just
The
whack.
OG
The
Xboxes,
OG
like,
Xbox, yeah. I used to play Amped. I played Amped 2. I played Amped 3. And I
yeah,
think I've even played quite a bit of Sean White, I think his name was,
yeah.
snowboarding. And I also love the Tony Hawks and the
Oh, of
skateboarding games. So
course, yeah, yeah,
I've always enjoyed those games, and you learning the button combos to do cool
yeah,
tricks and stuff. But I mean, this kind of game, like, it appeals to me, and it was
yeah,
super interesting seeing that they have this like 50-player PvP and PvP ranked, like, this just
dude. Looks,
massive thing. It almost, when I
oh,
first saw it, I thought that this was some sort of like a downhill skiing, like, battle royale.
yeah.
Like, if you
It
wipe out, you're out.
it
You know,
looks like, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be mayhem, by the way. Can I just say
crazy.
that? It
Yeah,
looks like it's gonna be mayhem. There's gonna be ATVers, there's gonna be
yep,
dirt bikers, there's gonna be mountain bikers, there's gonna be guys in the flying suits,
right.
like, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be mayhem. It
It's
looks like
gonna
there's gonna
be.
be people everywhere and they're running into each other and stuff. I could be riding an ATV while you're skiing and we can run into each other. It looks like it's gonna be this just mayhem is
Yep.
what it looks like. But it is kind of awesome that, I mean, say one of our buddies, hometown hero, he's really into dirt bikes. So maybe he's a dirt biker. Maybe I'm a ATVer. Maybe you're a snowboarder.
Well,
And
and
how
and,
does
and
it bring us all
yeah,
together?
I wonder how they're gonna do events with people, doing different things. It's
Yeah.
gonna be curious to see. I can't wait to see more of this one. It's coming 25 February 2021.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm interested. I'm interested.
Can
I
I
want to see
just
more,
say,
because I
I
was
think
interested in Steep too. So I mean,
it's a massive undertaking.
we might have to pick up, we game share, but we might have to pick up Steep, because that thing usually
Maybe.
goes on sale for like $10, $20 now. So we
Yeah.
might have to just pick that up and kind of get a fix for it until
Yeah,
it releases.
especially if it's made by the same company.
Right.
I don't I don't know for sure. Do you know for sure or no?
I believe it is. I believe it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
I, I
If
I'm not
if
I'm
it
not going to
is,
confirm it. If it's not,
confirm
let us
us
know. Yeah,
in
let
the
us know.
comments. If it's not, hey, whatever, no big deal.
Not a
Tell
big
us,
deal. Yeah,
educate
let
us.
us know. Yeah, like I said, we're not journalists. We're just reacting to the stuff we read. We
We
get
don't know
most
everything.
we get
We
most
just
of
like
our
to play
stories
games.
from Twitter, but they're from
True
usually from
that.
the big video game publishing websites,
That's
the
right.
news sites there. So there's a couple more things I wanted to talk to before we get into a fun segment we have called
Speed run.
Speed Run, which I need to figure out a timer for us.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're gonna have to get that in there.
we could probably actually put all of these in the speed run now that I'm looking at it. Well, we'll set up our own. I'll set up my own timer right here
Yeah,
for the
get us
time
going.
being. But speed run, we're gonna just some news topics that I didn't think were as big, but we still kind of want to share quick opinions on, and we're calling it speed run to stick with a nice gaming theme. So
Yeah, and we're each gonna get what, 30 seconds on this
I think it was 1 minute,
per topic?
wasn't it? 1 minute?
1 minute total, or is it 1 minute piece?
Well, I thought it was 1 minute apiece.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
We could do 30 seconds.
Let's try 30 seconds. Let's see
We
how it
could do
goes.
30 seconds. All right. So our first one, we have Dirt 5 delayed for a second time, only by 1 week though. Not sure why this news is, relevant if it's only 1 week being delayed, but it was done so to accommodate next gen consoles. Zach, you're up.
Okay. I Dirt 5, meh. I listen, I know a lot of people love the Dirt games. A lot of people love them. They're on a fifth segment of the game. Come on. I mean, clearly people are buying the game and really excited. Ooh, why is it delayed for a week. I mean, guys, what's a week? Come on, what's a week? If you're gonna do it on the current gen and next gen, what's the big deal? Or you release it a
Time.
week earlier. Oh, dang. Oh.
My thoughts on it: Dirt 5. I do enjoy the racing games. Excited coming out. I'm not like I said. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's not really that big of news. It's not that big of a news story. Honestly, it's delayed by 1 week, and they're doing it not because they're trying to fix the game or anything. They're doing it to release with the next gen consoles. So I think that's a completely justifiable reason to delay it. And hey, why not?
Meh.
Next, we have Minecraft coming to PlayStation VR. Before I give you your time here, it is a free update, and
Right.
it's speculated to be coming out this month, September 2020, but no official date was confirmed. And I do believe this is already on VR on PC. So, thoughts?
Yeah. Thoughts? Really, Minecraft on VR, really exciting. That's actually a really cool thing.
Not
I
for you
don't
though.
play a lot of Minecraft myself. I loved Minecraft Dungeons. I can't imagine how cool that would be in VR. I imagine a regular Minecraft in some of the settings and the modes, you can do something like that. But I think it would be really cool to see like something like Minecraft Dungeons in VR.
Time.
So there you go.
Zach's long-winded tonight. My thoughts on it: Minecraft. I actually did play quite a bit of Minecraft back when it came out on the 360. Back, it was already pretty popular by then, but I'll never forget my first time having a creeper creep up behind me and just blow the
Oh man.
snot out of me. Scared the crap out of me, and I think that would be a wild experience to have in VR. So I would be super interested in seeing some gameplay on that and maybe even trying it out for myself. Good old Minecraft. Speaking of Minecraft, Minecraft Dungeons Creeping Winter was announced. It comes with new missions, new mobs, new items, and it's available now. Thoughts?
Love it. I'm so excited. That is awesome. I absolutely love Minecraft Dungeons. So much so that I did my oldest son just turned 13, like we said at the beginning, and I got him a new Switch Lite, and that was the first game I bought for him because Minecraft Dungeons is awesome. Creeping Winter, yes, 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 please. Thank you.
Well, we need to get it. My thoughts are relatively the same. You and I and Rico really played through this quite a bit. We played through it on Game Pass. I'm not sure if they have a if this DLC is free to Game Pass. I didn't see anything about that, but honestly, if it's not, I think it might be worth just picking up the game in the DLC and just supporting the company for making such an awesome dungeon crawler.
No doubt. No doubt about that.
No doubt. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, their release date has been changed as well, but this time instead of a week later, they moved it up a week so it could come out to match the Xbox Series X and Series Slim release dates on November 10th. Thoughts?
Okay, so another weak mover. I mean, what is going on? What is going on in the video game world? I think everybody, all these things are getting released finally and confirmed, and everybody's like, okay, we're going to get it ready for this or that, right? So everybody's plans were kind of like pretty close, but we're not totally sure. But that's what this is, I think. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the first one that's gotten me actually kind of excited about the Assassin's Creed franchise in a long time for me.
Perfect. I'm excited myself for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I don't I don't know why they felt like they needed to move the release date, and if that was
It's a
something,
week.
yeah, if that's something that they discussed with Microsoft ahead of time, then they could have just said, "Hey, we're releasing on November 10th." No one would have ever said that's probably the day the Xboxes are coming out, because it's a Ubisoft game, but you know what? That's fine. At least when people say, "Does Microsoft have any games that they're going to play?" Well, yes, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be on there.
Oh yeah, we'll be playing that for sure, for sure.
Here's a fun one. Gears Tactics is coming to console on November 10th, and that'll include the Series X, Series Slim, Xbox One, and will be available day one on Game Pass. Thoughts?
Strange. Everything's coming out on November 10th.
Wonder
Oh man,
why.
no, this is great. This is exciting. The Gears games have been really great. Gears 5 was hit or miss for me, but actually Gears Tactics looks really kind of interesting. Looks like an interesting addition to the franchise. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with that on next gen consoles.
I love Gears of War. I'm a big Gears of War fan.
Yeah,
And the game is not your standard Gears of War game. I believe it's more
Mhm.
like in the realm of XCOM, the
Right,
strategy based
right.
game. Um, and I've actually have it downloaded on my PC and I haven't touched it yet, but I'm excited it's coming to console because I'm more likely to play games on my console.
Sure,
This I
right,
think is a great game to be coming as a launch title for the game, even though it's technically already out.
right. Yeah,
All
that's a good
right.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll be great. Watch Dogs Legion is releasing October 29th, ahead of the Xbox at least. Will be available on next gen when they release in November. And they have a DLC that's been announced already for it, which I'll get to my section. I'll complain about it. But Aiden Pierce, the protagonist from the first game, will be the playable character in that DLC. Thoughts?
Thoughts? Oh man, Watch Dogs Legion. Okay, so to preface, I am not a crazy Watch Dogs fan. It never really floated my boat. I never really got into it. Uh, Even more so watching the preview, the trailer for it, it just looked really goofy, and I was just kind of like, meh. It just did not grab my attention and get me excited.
Well, for me, I have to say I was a Watch Dogs fan. I didn't think the first game was all that great. I thought Aiden Pierce was one of the most boring characters on the planet, so I'm baffled that they would bring him back for a DLC, especially since they've kind of Watch Dogs 2,
Our
and
garden
Watch
do it.
Dogs Legions, they are trying to get away from that. And it is a lot goofier than, say, the original. But I think the idea of it looks fantastic. I'm happy it's coming out this year. And I can't wait to get my hands on it and to play as different characters.
There you go. Hey, there's some truth right there for you guys who are new to the Backlog Gamers, which everybody is. The reality is that Halo Titan and we don't always agree on games. We don't
Nope.
always like the same games. I like some
Fact.
games that he looks at and he's like, dude, I don't get this one.
Fact.
And there are games that
Planet
I've
of
tried with him.
Eyes, anyone?
Oh yeah, come on, that was awesome. Oh yes, Virginia, anybody?
Armacrog?
Virginia. Oh, come on. Armacrog. Nobody liked that
Virginia?
game.
Horrible game.
Virginia was awesome. But
Horrible
the
game.
point is, we don't always agree on games, and
That's
that's
true.
okay
That's
because
true.
you know what? We're all gamers, and we just
We all have
not
different
all
tastes
agree
and
on.
opinions, so it's good
It's
to
good.
have some diversity in opinion there. All right, this one I think both of us are going to like. Far Cry VR, Dive into its Insanity, has been announced. It's coming out 2021, and it supposedly takes place during the events of Far Cry 3, with the infamous villain Voss returning, hopefully with his just eerie rendition of the insanity speech. Have I
Yeah.
ever told you the definition of insanity? Thoughts?
Okay, thoughts. I I'm actually a big proponent of VR. I really enjoy it. I was definitely I jumped on. I'm all about it. It gets me excited. I know that Far Cry is huge on storytelling, and the thought of having a VR story from that uh, universe is intriguing to me. It is.
Any, for it's not necessarily just from the Far Cry universe. It's from the Far Cry 3 universe, which I
Right.
really feel that game, Far Cry 3. If you haven't played it, probably I haven't played the latest two, Far Cry 5 and New Dawn. But Far Cry 3 really sucked me into the franchise, and I thought Voss was such a fantastic villain. To see him making a return is awesome, and his infamous insanity speech was a highlight of that game. So I'm excited for this and would love to try it on VR.
Yeah.
All right, and then our last piece of news. Sam Fisher is coming to Rainbow Six Siege, not a new Splinter Cell game. Thoughts?
Thoughts? Okay. This is funny to me because I know how much you love Splinter Cell. And I know that you're going to have some thoughts on this. But I also know that you're not the only one who loves Splinter Cell. And there are a lot of people who want to see it. Honestly, what I think this is, I think they're adding him into the Rainbow Six Siege because they're like, man, people are really mad that we keep not announcing Splinter Cell.
Well, that might be the case. Honestly, for me, it's like a dagger in the knife, and they just keep, or a dagger in the back, and they keep twisting it. They keep twisting it. Oh, there's a Sam Fisher mission in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Oh, cool. We get Sam Fisher there. Oh, they have that mobile game where Sam Fisher's going to be in it. No one gives a crap about that game. And now they have Sam Fisher coming to Rainbow Six Siege, which I've heard Rainbow Six Siege is awesome. I'm just not that big into PvP, but to see one of my favorite protagonists coming into all these other games and not his own game, which hasn't been my time's up, hasn't been out in forever. It irks me, man.
He's like, forget the speed run time. I'm mad.
Yeah, this is something we could have had a lengthy discussion about. I'm a huge Splinter Cell fan. They haven't released a Splinter Cell since, I want to say, 2010, maybe. It's been like 10 years, I feel like. Or 2000. They released it on the 360.
Yeah.
So the entire lifespan of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, right, we did not get a new Splinter Cell. The Splinter Cell games, to me, are unique. I mean, they're these awesome spy games, and I've always been a big fan. But I know Blacklist did not
stealth. Yeah.
Blacklist did not sell as well as they wanted. It's not Splinter Cell's not going to sell as well as your Ghost Recons or your Assassin's Creeds or your Far Cries. But you know what? There's still an audience out there for it, and I'm hoping. Every time Ubisoft has the presser, I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. Now's the time. And what better time than now to reveal a new Splinter Cell game for next gen consoles? Imagine the world you can do. Take a look at what Hitman's done with their stealth game.
Sure.
And
right.
I mean, I gotta say, I love the old school Splinter Cell games. Being able to sneak around and be silent, and ways to get into places and complete your mission without ever being seen. You don't have to kill people. I mean, sometimes in some cases you do, but that was always great to me. And then the newer ones with Splinter Cell Conviction and Splinter Cell Blacklist, they were more modern, Predator type stealth games where, I mean, you're being stealthy, but you were able to just assassinate people and just as quickly and seamlessly, and just kind of I sped run Blacklist, and huge fan. And I'm just seeing it. I've heard he's already out now, and people are playing as him in Siege, and he's awesome. And honestly, it would probably be the only reason I would play Siege was to play Sam Fisher, but it's just disappointing that he's in yet another video game, but he's not. Man. He's not he's not the lead star in it. So. Oh man! Well, we had a full news week this week. I'm always happy to sit down and podcast when we have a full week of stuff that we're able to talk about, and
makes it really easy to just we just blaze through the time, man. It's just I felt
like we just sat down and started talking. Gosh, I'm loving this stuff. So if you guys enjoy the podcast, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell, all the YouTube stuff. Follow us on Spotify at Backlog Gamers. And you can also follow us on our Twitter account at Gamers Backlog.
Great way to engage us throughout the week. And
absolutely. And you know what? If you have really a topic that you want us to discuss during the podcast,
let us know.
Yeah, just tweet at us and let us know. We're more than happy to look into it. If it's something that doesn't interest us, we might not talk about it. But you know what? We still want to hear from you. So.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you're saying, and we'll be coming out with more segments and stuff in the future, especially reading your comments on stream, or on the podcast, I should say. Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Zach, why don't you let us know where people can find you?
Yeah. I'm Zach Avalanche again. You can find me on Twitter at Zach Avalanche, or you can find us on Twitch, where we'll be streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays during the day, Mountain Time. So come out and hang out with us during the live stream and have some fun, guys. It's a really great time in the snow globe. So where can we find you, Halo Titan?
Well, so do you not have a specific time you're streaming yet?
Oh, we're looking at doing it at 12:30 Mountain Time is what we're
12:30.
looking at. So
I was gonna say during the day is a big window, a big time frame.
that's what we're looking at.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Halo Titan, right here on YouTube, Halo Titan as well. And I also stream on Twitch. I stream Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, usually until around 10 or midnight. Kind of depends on how I'm feeling. That's the best place to find me. We have a lot of fun. We're currently going to be doing a community game week.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, I think next Monday we have Call of Duty with King of Discopia.
Oh, cool.
And anyone else that wants to join us, Zach, if you're free.
Love me some Call of Duty.
We're going to be doing some Call of Duty, probably Warzone or something.
Yeah, let me know what night.
Yeah, Monday night at 6 p.m.
Monday night. All right.
When we're starting Tuesday night, we're doing Fall Guys with Crisis.
Cool.
And Wednesday, we're doing Grand Theft Auto Online with Joey Talon. And then Thursday, we're going to continue our Diablo 3 playthrough with Death Pony on PC. So
awesome. Sounds like a fun week.
Yeah, great stuff. You haven't started back streaming again yet. What's going to be your first? What's your first game? What are you going to be?
You know what? I've been having a lot of fun with Breath of the Wild, and I think we might just jump into that.
Yeah. Good one to bring. There's a big fan base for that. You'll get some audience there.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be really fun.
Perfect. Well, hey man, have a great weekend. It was great seeing you. We do record this beforehand, but you can expect all episodes to release on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So there might be some news we didn't cover that came out over the weekend. Just stay tuned for the podcast after and we'll cover it.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will catch you next time right here on the Backlog Gamers podcast.
Backlog Gamers out.
Deuces.